pricing for them. Yeah.
It is, yeah. First of all, it becomes like subscription pricing,
is that working
right?
for them?
It's working to some degree, right? I mean, so it's too early to say, right? And I heard mixed comments about this one. So people, there's a couple of things which are going on, right? So they got the thing which called identity link, right? Which is device graph, whatever you call it, right? So that's the asset, right? I mean, they maintain it and so on. So if you're a smaller player, right? I mean, you kind of LiveRamp a little bit like a black box, right? I upload, let's say, 10 million email addresses, right, with the different segments. Somehow they match it on cookies, right? Push to my DSP, right? And I see segments over there, right? But I don't know which email address went to which cookie, right? So I cannot repeat it. So now with this new push, one of the options for very big players, like let's say you're Walmart, right? It's a big behemoth, right? So for these players, right, they would kind of actually allow these big players, that's kind of once I become an enterprise software, right? So I can give it and allow, let's say, Walmart to host it on their premise, right? So, and I just do updates, right? I mean, so that's the value, right? If I'm big player, that's the value, because suddenly I can go beyond, I can control quality myself, but they do it more like exception. Otherwise, it is convenient, right? I mean, if I'm a smaller player, it is convenient that they did all the cookie matching, all the stuff, right? And with the press of a button, right, on this UI, I can push data to a DSP, or I can add another DSP and so on, right? But I guess another thing they're trying to do over there, right? I mean, if you go there, they give you access to third-party data, right? They kind of becoming DMP. It's very confusing. I guess what I'm hearing, right, it's great that they added some technology. From this perspective, it become more easily to manage, right, that people like. This new pricing model, right? It's not even right. It's a new business model, right? Some people like, and people like who more far ahead in using onboarding, right? Because if I'm spending whatever X amount of dollars with LiveRamp anyway, right? So why don't I just got this kind of subscription where they take care of all this logistics and so on, right? So that's good. If I'm still kind of on and off user, obviously I'll stick with my old transactional transactional mode. And plus, because it's not that kind of mature, right? There's what I'm hearing. There's a lot of bugs and quirks and so on, right? But hopefully they will take care of this. So, but I think it's a good move towards this one, right? I mean, so, and especially with this kind of consortium, if they succeed, right? I mean, so it's more like, hey, I'm this, call it infrastructure, which everybody needs, right? Like it's running behind, right? It's robust, right? And everybody could use it, right? So kind of you don't worry about this one. I'm doing all this matching and so on, right? I'm vendor agnostic. I don't sell data, right? I mean, what I do, I just do, I create these matches, right? I mean, so, and provide information. So at least that's the vision, right? Which kind of they're trying to push right now. So yeah, we'll see how it's going to be accepted, right? I mean, so it's probably another year to see. Does this make sense?
Yeah, and then you also you mentioned briefly at the beginning you spoke about BBM and the whole thing of the provision of cookie IDs. What effect would that have on LiveRamp?
I think it's only positive, right, if you think about it. Because, I mean, how they position themselves, hey, we're an alternative, right, to Google and Facebook, right? So saying, hey, I mean, it's, yeah, great. Google was like killing